NBC5 investigates the confessions of an Indiana serial killer named Darren Vann.
He is serving life in prison for the murders of 7 women in and around Gary, Indiana. But we have learned Vann has told police he's killed many more across the border in Illinois. Here's Rob Stafford.
I call it my mistakes.
Serial killer Darren Vann's mistakes, as he calls them, are actually murders. And Darren Vann told police in Hammond, Indiana, he's made a lot of mistakes.
4 or 5 in California. How many in North Carolina?
1, because I ain't staying long. Texas, I think there's 2. At least 2 in Milwaukee. And there's 3 in Minnesota. I'll say about 7 in Detroit.
How many in Chicago?
Chicago, that's a lot. It's a lot.
Vann is serving life for the murders of 7 women in and around Gary, Indiana in 2014. But these police tapes show the divorced Marine who was kicked out of the Corps confessing to even more killings in Illinois.
They have way more in Indiana.
Where were you staying at over there?
I don't have to stay anywhere. I get on the train, I get on the bus.
He's completely matter-of-fact when he confesses to it.
Ben Kubrick of the Algorithm podcast obtained the confession tapes through a Freedom of Information request.
Police officers, I think, they're playing this game of trying to act like what he's saying is normal to get him to keep talking.
On the tapes, Vann tells investigators about his urge to kill and need to travel to find his victims.
I try to get far away from my family.
He says sometimes he killed for a reason.
She struck me. If she hadn't struck, that's it. I don't like being hit.
Sometimes for no reason at all.
Casper was my friend. I didn't mean to kill her.
What led up to that?
I was already angry.
We believe that we're dealing with 2 or 3 serial killers. We think Mr. Vann could be one of them.
Thomas Hargrove founded the Murder Accountability Project and has studied 50 unsolved strangulations of women in Chicago.
Vann goes to prison in Texas. What happens to that strangulation rate in Chicago?
It drops.
Before Vann's murder arrest, he served 5 years for sexual assault starting in July 2008.
We sent you a bar chart. If you look at the year-by-year number of murders, you'll see that there's a precipitous decline in the number of homicides of unsolved strangulations in 2009 and afterwards.
He talks about taking the train and bus to Chicago. Are any of these homicides along a train or bus route?
Boy, are they. There are 8 or 9 body recovery sites along the CTA Green Line.
But today, Chicago police released a statement saying there is no evidence linking the cases to each other or to suggest there's a serial killer. Detectives are continuing to investigate the cases individually as CPD works to seek justice on behalf of the victims and their families.
How do you connect the rage with these people that
They're random. They're random.
Random acts of violence, but Hargrove thinks there's a pattern here and hopes police departments in Chicago and across the country sit down with Darren Vann.
They located a body, but it wasn't the right one. Well, it wasn't one of mine.
Rob Stafford, NBC5 Investigates.
Just chilling to hear him say so matter-of-fact there. All right, our thanks to Rob.